then I'm going to be like, yes, go play with Atlas. It's the same thing. Your network can be amazing, but if they can't vouch for your lazy ass, then your network is shit. Well, no, your network's great, but you're shit. That's it. Welcome back to another installment of the AM Club podcast. It is the evening. Very evening. It is way past Austin's bedtime.
It's close. It's close.
So excuse us if the energy levels are low. However, Austin, what is the topic of today's podcast episode?
Your network being your network. So, sometimes it's not what you know. It's more about who you know. And who knows you. Gotta keep that in mind. And this little turd is playing with his ball, another installation of Atlas being disruptive. So,
and just like making interesting noises and dropping his toy.
yes. So, but anyway, back to the regularly scheduled programming. So,
back to you.
yes.
Live.
Back to you, Jose.
Oh, back to me.
Yes.
All right. So your network is your net worth. Now, to be quite honest, the way Austin and I establish networks are slightly different. I would say, Austin, you actually produce networks at a higher level than I do. Because you get more connections quickly because you attend networking events and you're part of communities and associations and I guess groups would be, what's a good descriptor?
I guess groups.
Yeah, good groups that are highly connective and highly adaptive, and they try to incorporate people and get you in front of the right people and get you with the right people.
Right.
While the way I get connections is I literally just live my life. And that's how I meet people but again, I'm blessed with a very free lifestyle that Austin often gives me a lot of hate for, but I complain about. But I have a lot of freedom, so I get to go to the gym that I want to go to for the times that I want to go to. I get to go to the cafes that I want to get to go to. I get to go to the events. I get to go to yoga if I want to. And just being out and about, going to Whole Foods, going to the grocery store, going to a specific cafe, I run into people who are business owners or people who have certain expertise or a network or perhaps have the capabilities to guide us, myself, or Austin in whatever endeavors we're undertaking, whether it be business, personal, or what have you. So in reality, you just need to meet people, and it doesn't necessarily matter how. And you need to find a way that suits your personality and your characteristic and your temperament, because as long as you get to know people and you can present yourself in a positive way where people will actually like you, the sky is your limit, because you will meet people that you would never imagine can help you in ways that you never knew. But again, remember, it's reciprocal. You have to be able to provide value to somebody to receive value.
There will be some times, however, though, you might stumble upon somebody who's very altruistic and wants to help you more often than not. They're probably older and want to kind of use what they didn't know at that particular age that you were at and kind of guide you with some of the wisdom that they were able to get with their older age. Most times it's not like that. Like you said, it's probably going to have to be reciprocal. And just to kind of delve into the whole network being your network thing a little bit more, there's certain opportunities that I know that we have and just in general that people have in life that you probably wouldn't be able to get unless somebody who is at that level that you want to get to helped you out. Because I know when it comes to even interviews and knowing how that kind of goes and being on the other side of things, not talking about just work-wise, but just whether it's certain groups or things like that. Like most times, there's people who are qualified for the job. They might have all the best, credentials, resume might be perfect. However, they may not still get the job because they don't know the person or the person doesn't know them. So if there's somebody that the person on the other side of the table who's interviewing you or who's willing to accept you into this group or whatever, they might have a person in mind that they already know personally. Their resume might not be as good, but it might be good just because, just because they know them. They're much more willing to choose them, or probably will choose them over you, even though your credentials and your resume is just that much better. And is it fair? No, but that's how life is. So having that network of people who know you and who are willing to say, hey, look, I could pay somebody to do this. However, I know you, so I'm willing to work with you. That just gets you into certain doors that you may not have the opportunity to get in just off of your background alone. Even if your background might be great, sometimes it's not all about just, your resume or what's on the resume. It's about much more. And some things you may not be privy to. And again, is it fair? No, but that's just how life works. So a way to kind of mitigate that and get through those obstacles is growing your network. So shit, even if you're not able to get into certain doors here because you're not in touch with that person, who knows? Somebody that you know may know that person that you're trying to do business with and be able to get you through that door. So you never know,
there's more than
how
one way.
exactly. And your network can be all of 5 people, but those 5 people that you know could have a network of 100 people each, and they could tap you into those different people. So you don't know who knows all these other, like it's just a long expounding fucking web of potential people that could help you do shit. So having a good network around you is very good. But also you have to realize that there's certain times where you may have the wrong network around you too.
Right.
Having the right network can bring you up, having the wrong network can bring you down. So you have to realize, who am I surrounding myself with, So your network can generate a net worth of $1 million, $100 million based off of the information that they know. Or your network can generate you a net worth of $0 based off of who you have around.
Or negative, it can cost you more than it gains you.
Exactly.
Forget breaking even. If you lose a business opportunity because a negative recommendation came through, you quite literally lost money. You're no longer at zero, you're at negative.
Right.
Because if you're running a big business that has an anticipation, as in you're running a business that's already cutting, you're already paying a staff, you're already paying faculty, you already have expenses, and you can't get a deal, you're in the negative now.
Right.
Assuming you don't have already recurring payments.
So be very aware of that. And it's going to be hard initially, especially when you do have a certain people around you. Certain people may not want to go where you want to go or want the certain things that you want to achieve in life. So you might have to change your network to generate a bigger net worth for yourself and those around you. Because there has been certain times where, what I wanted to do in life and what certain people wanted to do in life didn't align. And you can either stay with those people and kind of diminish your goals for yourself to fit something along theirs, or you could say, hey, look, you're cool, you're my boy, you're my girl, whatever, but I want to go over here and do this. So you can support, or you can't, or you don't have to. It is what it is. I'm still going to go do this over here and try to, build up what I want to build up. So there's certain things to where, certain instances where you're going to have to pick who you want to be a part of your network and also pick who you don't want to be a part of your network. So you might have to distance yourself from some people, which might be hard. And then you're also going to have to put yourself out there with some people to gain that network that could be beneficial to you and the other person, which also can be hard. So building this network that generates this network isn't something that's just easy. It isn't something that you're just going to do right off the bat. The first person that you meet on the street is probably not going to be somebody who's going to be of great use to you as far as furthering your career to the next level and making you $100,000 more or some shit like that. It's probably not going to be the case. So finding the right people isn't going to be easy all the time. But, you know, it's definitely worth it once you get those connections, and once you build those connections with people, it shows them that you work hard, it goes far. And then you also have to pay it forward. So once you have those connections and you get those certain spots that you always wanted to get, you're going to have to do the same thing for other people who are just like you in that position a while ago. Bless you.
Bless you, my friend. Get off the. You are not allowed to do this.
He's acting up.
Yeah,
But
I'm having fun and I'm listening.
yeah. But I went on a tangent. But
No. That was not a tangent. That was 100% online. Whether you think so or not, I'm here to tell you that you were still revolving around the most important point. But one interesting thing that you brought up, which I think is very important, is this actually is a reference to episode 11. It's 2 episodes back where we talked about pick up your damn phone, which if you haven't heard that, listen to our conjecture on why you need to learn to pick up your damn phone and be responsive.
right.
But I will give you a SparkNote summary. Basically, you need to pick up your phone because that's a reflection of how you are, your business is, and your character. Now, when we talk about your network is your net worth, and Austin mentions about how you can have a negative network, but you can also have a positive network. But here's the thing. You also have to keep in mind, you have to be somebody who is desirable, that people actually want to help out because you have a value. If Atlas, per se, Austin's dog, is a bozo, I'm not going to go recommend him to the other, I will say dog owners. I'm going to be like, go play with this bozo. No. But if Atlas is a ball of joy who's so kind and so entertaining, then I'm going to be like, yes, go play with Atlas. It's the same thing. Your network can be amazing, but if they can't vouch for your lazy ass, then your network is shit. Well, no, your network's great, but you're shit. That's it.
And
a little too honest here.
No. And that's true. Because,
Okay,
like, say, for instance, like, if you have a power source, right? You have a power source located in the center node, so like the middle, right? If that power source in the middle, the center node, isn't functioning properly, then it's not going to be able to distribute that power to those other nodes outside of it.
That's a good analogy.
So if you're not able to produce what you need to produce, and you're, for lack of a better word, fuck up.
Oh, and I'm a mean one.
If you are a fuck up, or if you just aren't managing what you're doing properly, or you're not doing things that you're supposed to be, lazy, you're
a waste man.
That's what Drake says. But
British.
Yeah, I guess. And Toronto thing, Canada thing. Fair enough. Yeah.
It's a something thing.
It's a something.
It's
thing.
a thing.
Not a U.S. thing. But if you don't have the right shit going on in yourself, you're not able to distribute what you can to those nodes. And those nodes can't help you in turn. So you have to get yourself right first to be able to even go out and market yourself to people, to where they're going to be like, hey, look, you know, this is a great guy. I'm going to connect you with so-and-so. I'm going to connect you with so-and-so. You want people to be able to vouch for you. Because I have one instance with my mentor that stands out. He told me, he was like, hey, look, I can help you out with this, but you're going to have to get like a 3.5 GPA or some shit like that. This is in college. And, you know, in order to prove myself and show that I'm able to put forth the work, I did that for him, and shit exceeded his expectations. And that way, that showed him, hey, look, I can not only trust him to do what I tell him to do, he exceeded my expectations. So now I can vouch for him to other people and say, hey, look, this guy right here, he knows his shit. So when it comes to shit for you, you have to realize, like, look, I have to do certain things to prove to people that I'm somebody who's trustworthy. I'm somebody who can put in the work so people can vouch for me. So it's kind of like letting your work speak for itself in a sense, because a lot of people talk. you could talk a great game and try to build that network. Some people could be lucky enough to where shit, as long as somebody knows you, they're just gonna recommend you. But most times you have to back up you being a part of that network. So, you're gonna have to put in that work and show people that you're worth it. So when it comes to building a network, you have to provide a reason for you to be in that network. And Atlas strikes again. But that was my spiel.
If you want a reputation that precedes you, which is the best thing you can possibly have, you need people who can vouch for you.
Right.
Because there's no other way, there's literally no other way that somebody else will know that you're good. Because you have to, it's what is the saying? Like, work hard and show it? There's a saying around the lines of work hard and show it. And basically, you don't have to directly show the fact that you're extremely competent if people already vouch for your competence. And that can be, Jesus Christ, not with the nails. That can be customer testimonial on your website. That can also be a simple word of mouth like Austin's mentors, because you've had many mentors that have helped and been, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm being attacked by a dog. But essentially, multiple mentors have helped Austin in the past, and they've also been really good at networking. Like I said, how Austin has a tendency to go through sort of formal networks and groups, which are very productive. I suggest that you look into them. That's one thing that I've never capitalized on that I need to begin capitalizing on. But basically, through that network, your reputation precedes you. People understand and people can actually vouch for you. So by the time somebody gets face to face with Austin, they already know Austin's resume. And Austin already picks up the phone. And Austin already wipes his own ass. Wash your ass. Not wipe your ass. It's wash your ass. It's the little things. How we talked about being congruent. All your characteristics align with your reputation, which already precedes you, and it's in a positive light. Is that not more desirable? And here's another thing. This is one of the laws of human nature. People want things that other people want.
That's very true.
And we know this. I'll give you an analogy. Think about money. Think about the materialistic value of money. Say the dollar. It's not backed by gold. It's not. So if some alien species came down and they're like, why are you vying for this green piece of paper? Or depending on the hint or the hue, whatever you want to call it. We'll say green for now. They say, why are you fighting and doing so much for this little green piece of paper? It has no value. You say, well, everybody else wants it. Because as a society, we value this as a currency. Therefore, I want it. So it's the same concept applies. If people say, hey, Austin is an upstanding, hard-working individual who is always punctual, picks up the phone, and always over or surpasses expectations and fulfills needs in a jiffy, who's not going to want him? Everybody's going to be like, sold already to the highest bidder. Well, basically, that's one of the most important things is that if you're a wanted commodity, finding people to employ you, finding partners in business, finding partners in life, finding clients is almost second nature. Marketing is great, but if you have a great product, it can easily market itself. Think about high-end products. Like, think about Bugatti. Does Bugatti market? Do they have to market? Does Rolex? Well, Rolex does market.
No.
They've had billboards for a while.
Yeah, but it's not like an aggressive marketing campaign. Well, it wasn't.
Like Casio used to have aggressive marketing campaigns, but Rolex never had an aggressive marketing campaign because it was already a desirable product. Quality and reputation. That's really all you need.
And
well, hopefully you're a moral individual as well.
But again, in a simpler way that you can understand is just like, there's certain times where the only way that you can get in the club is if you know somebody.
Yes.
It might be it might be a long ass line around the corner, and you could skip it if somebody knows you or if you know somebody. That's what having a good network is. You can skip the line. if you know people. And skipping the line could save you hours. In real life, it could save you fucking years.
It could save you a lifetime.
It could save you a lifetime.
There's some things you couldn't do. Well, we've already talked about this. You can't be a lone wolf and succeed for the most part. So, in things that you wouldn't be able to achieve in your lifetime alone, with the right network, the right community of people who give you critical feedback and help propel you in the right direction, or guide you, or even put you where you need to be put, sky's the limit.
Right.
Or beyond that.
However you want to see it, however you want to say it, you know, as far as you want to go, you can go. Or even past that with the right network. And you can also go lower than you could ever fucking imagine with the wrong network. So, knowing who to have around you is such an important thing in life. Shit, not even fucking business, just in life in general. You know, because I believe the saying is, you know, show me the 5 people, 5 closest friends that you have around, and that's basically like the summation of who you are.
Show me the 5 people you spend the most time with, and I'll show you your future. Or show me your 5 friends, and I'll show you your future.
Basically. Some shit like that.
You become whatever. There's a lot of ways to say it.
It's a lot of ways to say it. A lot of ways to skin a cat. So that's the saying. Oh, well, as well. But,
beat the dead horse.
Yeah. But, yeah, so there's just a lot of, you know, ways to say it, but showing the person or the people that you have around you really indicates like who you are as a person. Because if I have 5 people around me who just fucking are lazy fucks who don't do shit all day, even if I'm somebody who used to be or would be kind of energetic and optimistic and, you know, outgoing and just ready to take on the world, if I'm around those people all the time who don't want to do shit, and those are my friends, my 5 closest friends, it's going to be hard for me to kind of still stay aligned to what I want to do and have that same amount of energy and passion about things if I'm just surrounded by those people all the time. Because again, like, people see shit and imitate it and just go with the trend of things. So if you're around something for a long period of time, you're more often than not going to go towards that way of thinking or how those people do things. It's just like, you know, when you're brought up, raised a certain way, you know,
habits.
It's just habits that you're eventually going to transform into how those people or things act in that society or in that environment because you're just around all the time. So if you're around great people who are doing great things, you're probably going to be that 6th person that's going to be doing those great things.
That's a good one.
However, if you're around some people who aren't doing great things, who are kind of lazy, procrastinating, and whatnot, then that means that you're probably going to be that 6th person doing that. So you have to surround yourself with some good people.
I'm trying to think what was the point that I had that was in line with that. Because that was a good point.
And then Atlas attacked you.
Yes. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Shout out Avatar.
Listen, you little nugget. Come here. Oh, if you flip him.
You got him short and hitting.
Oh yeah.
There's stuff on you.
No, it cuts down here. See?
Okay, gotcha.
This is how you get him to relax. He doesn't like being like this. So, now that I have the Fire Nation under my control.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now that I'm the superior strategist and I've proven that. Mm-hmm. The point that I think is very important that Austin made is huge, is the way that, and you know I'm very particular about this, not so much, yes, your network is your net worth, but your network also is a reflection of you. And my parents always stressed this to me growing up as well, especially when I worked for a lot of other companies and businesses, and your parents might have told you this as well, or maybe a mentor or whoever. You don't go places after work wearing your work attire.
Ooh.
And the reason behind that is you're representing a brand. You are a brand ambassador. And regardless of if you're actually a quote-unquote ambassador. So say I work for HEB, and I walk around and I'm a happy individual outside of work. I'm reflecting positive on HEB. say I'm that jerk off who's just cutting people off with my grocery cart in Walmart, like rushing through, I don't know, whatever aisle, the coffee aisle, something like that. I'm going to be reflecting HEB negatively. And not only that, in a competing grocery store, which is even worse. And nowadays with social media and things of that sort, somebody can film me being a jerk off, doing whatever. And now, not only is that within the community, but now that's publicized.
Right.
And that's likely going to get a pretty high volume of connectivity because the algorithm's going to push it because it's going to be like, oh, people like this. People are engaging with this.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to push it. And now HEB's reputation is going to go bing, 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 bing. All because you didn't have much control of your emotions and you reflected poorly on your brand. So people who you associate with are a direct reflection of who you are. Whether somebody's cognizant about it or not, the way they behave, they're going to...
Can they even hear you say this right now? He's literally on the mic.
Hey, man. I don't think you know.
The mic is literally right there. He's laying on it right now.
I lost my mic? When did I lose it?
It's right there.
Atlas. Listen.
He's a 7-month-old child.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to take a good ass shower after this.
Yeah, probably.
I've been slobbered on this whole time. So, but look. What was I? 5 friends? People?
HEB.
HEB? Past HEB. You're done, actually. You need to. Okay. So, real quick. The main point I'm making is here. If my network, my top 5, people know them as hardworking individuals who are very respectful, very kind, very diligent. They pick up their phone. They're clean. They're well presented. They're concise, and they're business oriented, mission and goal driven. That is the best reflection you can have as a group. And as you all know, moving in a group, a strong group of winners, or people who never give up, is always a good move. Now, put the opposite and reflect a completely negative group of a bunch of lazy individuals who fail to show up, don't take showers, don't do other things that they should do, don't pick up the phone, they're not productive, they don't look out for themselves mentally, physically, and emotionally, they're not responsible, they don't care for the people who they're responsible for. Now think about the way that group reflects as a whole. Think about the progress that they're going to make. Austin, are they going to make progress? Fuck no. Fuck no. That's crazy, Atlas.
See, bro, you fed into his bullshit too much. Now he's expecting it out of you.
Hey, but I mean, listen, we could go on and on and on, but I think as far as my points go, I think you voiced almost everything that I had to say.
My fault.
No, that's good. Listen, reputation precedes you. This is my network. We are illustrating some network to you. If I could say something that Austin's thinking, great. Now they know that Austin was thinking the same shit, and vice versa. Which means now they're like, don't discount the, what did we say that one time? You're like, don't discount the connection.
Yeah.
There you go. Y'all don't know. There's a difference. You move different when you move with purpose and you move with people.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. On that note, for the nice podcast and the AM podcast, we'll see you mañana. If you don't know what that means, it means get a dictionary and look it up.
Spanish dictionary.
Yeah, Spanish dictionary.
Y'all stay safe.
Or not.